Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
What's up, everybody? It's the Ginger Yeti, and it's time to review an OG IPA. That's right, one of the originals, Stone IPA. Now, I found this in my fridge. Don't know where it came from. I'm sure somebody bought it at some point. Probably should have checked the expiration date on here, which would have been a smart idea to do. And this says it was packaged on 12/11/23. EJB, whatever EJB is. I'm sure that's something dumb that I'll figure out after I do this video. April 9th, 24. This is now June, so maybe it's a little out of date, but I don't think that matters for this beer. I don't think it's that far out of date for this beer. Should have done it a little more fresh, but is what it is, right? Stone IPA. This is the iconic IPA. I mean, this was, it even says on the can, the iconic West Coast style IPA. This is one of the originals. Now, Stone Brewing is from Escondido, California, and they do have a production facility in Richmond, Virginia as well, which is a newer operation there. And Stone was rated as a world-class brewery by both Rate Beer and Beer Advocate. And also, kind of funny, Beer Advocate readers voted that Stone is the #1 all-time top brewery on planet Earth, whatever that means. Now, unfortunately, Stone was purchased by Sapporo in 2022, although allegedly they're still operated independently of Sapporo. I don't know how much truth there is in that. Hopefully that's still true, that Sapporo is just almost like an angel investor pumping money in and taking some money out, and not trying to change or control anything, but only time will tell on that. Back to the beer. So like I said, this is Stone IPA. This is like one of the iconic original mass-produced IPAs that you would see in the U.S. I remember back when I still lived in the cornfield with Tristan, when him and I were just starting to get into better beers, craft beers, those kind of things. I remember really seeing the Stone Arrogant Bastard. Thinking the Arrogant Bastard was funny. It was always in the big bottles, and there would be micro writing, like a term paper's worth of micro writing on the back of the bottle. I always remember that from Stone, from first coming across Stone, and that was in the early 2000s. So it's cool to finally review a Stone beer. This is, like I said, the Stone IPA, and on the can here it says, the Stone Gargoyle, our loyal guardian and your symbol of quality. Hashtag Stone Brewing, hashtag Stone IPA. I'll have to remember all that. Enjoy fresh. I'm already failing at that aspect. On the back here it says the iconic West Coast style IPA. This is the IPA that put us on the map. Long before IPAs were craft brewing's most prominent beer style, this beer was in our lineup. Distinguished by bright hop fruitiness, piney vibrancy, and tantalizing bitterness, Stone IPA has stood tall as the epitome of the West Coast style IPA since 1997. I mean, in 97, I was drinking whatever I could get my hands on. Didn't matter if it was Keystone Light, Beast, Jungle Juice, Pop-Off Vodka, whatever it was, I was drinking it. So I wouldn't have even run across this in 97. Stone IPA has inspired countless others, including all of our myriad of IPAs, double IPAs, and triple IPAs that have collectively earned our reputation as one of the most passionate and artful hop-driven breweries on the planet. It is true. I mean, when I think of Stone, I think of hop, over-hopped, hop everything. I don't know if they can even do any other style but hops, but IPAs and pale ales. Maybe I should see if I can find some beers from Stone that aren't IPAs and pale ales. Does Stone even do a stout or anything else? Like, is there a Stone stout? Let me know down below in the comments. Have you had a stout from Stone? Do they even make a stout? Who knows? Hops. Magnum, Chinook, Centennial, Azaka, Calypso. I don't think I've heard of Calypso before. Or Ella. Ella and Vic's Secret. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hops. Wow. I just saw a video from Rajopolis today where he did a beer that I believe had 8 hops in it. This one has 7 different hops. Flavor notes: lemon peel, tropical, and dank. Of course it's dank. Everything from California is dank, right? Has to be dank. Let's get into it. So this gets a 3.75 on Untapped with 439,000 check-ins. That's a lot of check-ins. On Beer Advocate, it gets a 93 outstanding. Not surprising there. Beer Advocate tends to like IPAs with over 11,000 check-ins. That is a ton of check-ins on Beer Advocate. 11,000 is a lot of check-ins on Beer Advocate. And since it's up there that high, I'm going to give you like the aggregate score. Don't normally do it, but the aggregate score on Beer Advocate was a 4.2. So you kind of see the difference between Untapped, which is kind of the casual, everyday beer drinker, and Beer Advocate, which is the more serious beer drinker. You can see kind of the difference between the ratings there. So when this beer poured out, it's not as hazy as I expected, but I guess it's the original West Coast. They shouldn't be hazy. I probably should have picked a better glass than my 2020. What was this? 2020 craft beer. These people. It's a glass from those people. I can't remember what it was called, but the hashtag was "In This Together." I think that's the year they started these glasses to help support the Ohio craft brewing industry. But there's a lot of artwork on there, so it's hard to see through this glass, and we're talking about the beer, not the glass, right? But that is pretty clear with a nice soapy white head. I mean, that's like dish soap bubbles. Looks very inviting. Big dish soap bubbles there. But that's a nice, pretty clear beer. And I would give this on the SRMs probably about use my winemaker shop SRM, probably about, I would think about a 5. I know you're viewing it from this way. I'm viewing it that way. The light's coming this way, so it looks a lot darker in the camera than it does to my eyes. But I'm giving that about a 5. That looks like a really, really nice beer. Let's go in for a sniff. Hopefully there's no off flavors on it. Just smells slightly hoppy. I mean, a little bit of like that tropical citrus hop, and that's about it. And you know, I'm beginning to wonder if maybe that's all my nose picks up on these IPAs, because I've done a lot of IPAs lately, and it seems like they all smell like tropical to me. So maybe my nose just doesn't pick up the piney aspects of hops. But it doesn't smell offensive at all. It doesn't smell like there's any off flavors in there yet. So hopefully it's still good. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but before I take a drink, I'm going to mention it again if I haven't already. It's 6.9% alcohol with 71 IBUs. That's a lot of IBUs. Excuse me. And with that burp, I'm just going to dive right in. Cheers. Bitter, piney. I mean, that's bitter. But it's not like, it's not crazy bitter. It's not smack you over the head bitter. But you know there's hops in there. You know this is an IPA. Light-bodied. And like I said, it's light-bodied, it's piney, and it's bitter. But it's not like bitter beer face bitter. But there's some lingering bitterness on the tongue. This is what I remember IPAs used to be. I mean, I remember, I think back in the days with me living in the cornfield with TK, we were seeing a lot of Belgian beers, a lot of Euro beers, a lot of stouts. Not a lot of IPAs, but the IPAs you would see. I mean, this is what I remember. Stone IPAs, Sierra Nevada Pale Ales, those kind of things. Then you get something like Dogfish Head or Flying Dog. But this is the kind of flavor I remember from the IPAs. That's a nice beer. That's a really nice beer. I could drink a few of these. They'd probably catch up to you at 6.9%. You know, big horns up, Stone. This is definitely a classic, iconic West Coast style IPA. I should have busted out the iconic plastic cup for this. It's a shame I didn't. This is definitely an iconic IPA. Stone, I don't know if you're number one all-time top brewery on the planet Earth, but I do believe you're a world-class brewery. Definitely deserve that classification. This is a great beer. I think the Untapped rating's a little low. Beer Advocate's probably on point. I'd give this, as far as IPAs go, with my current palate, I'd probably give this closer to a 4. With that being said, I'm just going to embrace the adventure.